Welcome to All Things Internet, a show where we talk about things we see on the internet that usually have to do with the internet, and Emily tries her gosh darn it to fact check and research whatever I might find relevant. I'm one of your hosts, Rachel Ballinger.
I'm Emily Brostaff,
the other host, and I wanted to ask Emily a story or a question about a story that she's about to tell, and then I cut her off so she could tell you guys as well. Last night I got a text from Em at about 10 at night. And she's like, is there supposed to be a strange noise coming from your garage? If you don't know, our office, my garage is quite large, and I've converted part of it into an office, which is where we office. So Emily, take it away.
Yeah, mostly I was texting you that because I needed you to be like, yeah, there are totally thuds that come from my garage often.
No, I've never
Everything
heard a thud
is
in my
fine.
life. No.
I needed you to gaslight me into not thinking I was going to be,
No.
Yeah, no, I was sitting here. I was finishing uploading some stuff for you to YouTube, and it was like 11-ish at night, 10:30-ish, because, I know how to time management. And I was in the office with my dog, Daisy, but she gets pills at night to, like, knock her out, or else she just paces and whines, and it's a whole mess. So she was...
Anxiety.
Just like mommy. So she was, like, pretty conked. But I just kept hearing this like thud and rustle coming from your garage. And so in my head, I was like, I was gaslighting myself. I was like, it's the next door neighbor. They're sweeping at 11:30
Yeah,
p.m.
of course they're sweeping. That is the normal time. And they don't have gardeners. They do it themselves.
Exactly. And then in my head, I was like, oh, something just fell from the wind from the closed garage at 11:30 at night. And so anyway, it got so bad at one point that I ended up texting Rachel, and I was like, please tell me that there are normal thuds that come from your garage at 11:30 p.m. And she was like,
no.
How about you leave my garage and take the pair of scissors in the cup next to you? And I was like, great, I'm gonna die. So
you went and got Blaze.
I went and got Blaze because I had Daisy with me, but she wasn't growling. She didn't even pick up her head, which meant she wasn't hearing the noises, because even if it was like a rat or a raccoon or something, she would have been growling at the door, but she was so conked that...
Yeah.
And so I was like, no.
And Blaze is scared of every little noise that ever happens.
Right. So I took Daisy inside. I brought Blaze in here. I found your little Swiss Army knife. I held
Swiss Army knife. It's a pocket knife that's like 3 inches long.
I found a pocket knife. And as I was bringing Blaze in here, I was like, singing him a little song. I was like, you will protect me 'cause you love me. You will bite the bad man right in the crotch. Yes, you will. You'll love me. And he was like, oh, we are going to the office now. Okay.
And he didn't care? He didn't hear any noises?
No, and I didn't hear it after that. So either my phone conversation with you or my song to Blaze scared off whatever it was. But I'm going to say it was a rat.
I'm pretty sure it was probably a rat. Like,
yeah.
There's no way to get into the garage unless it's through that office door.
Right, and I do lock it and take the key at night because, we sometimes, like, leave the key in the door.
Mm-hmm.
I, like, take the key because I am, like, psychotic about that. So whatever.
No, yeah, there's no way into that garage unless you go through that door. And there's always a dog or a person in that room, so.
Yeah. Speaking of dog of the day
is Daisy.
And she's sleeping next to all of her prezzies that you got sent for your birthday.
No, yeah, those are Blazes.
Yeah, except the crocodile.
Yeah, that one's hers.
Yeah.
All right, Em, how you doing?
Good. Besides the scare. But yeah, everything's good. I got through it. Your dogs are happy. They're sleeping and fed and played with and loved. And
I might mess everything up. I really want to lean against the bed. I'm not even in my room. I'm in Summer's room. Hold on. I'm in Mammoth. For those just listening,
oh, yeah.
I'm in Mammoth, and I really want to lay against this bed, but I got to scoot. Oh, yeah. Hold on.
There we go.
Perfect. Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
God,
so much better.
So much better. I have to sneeze a little bit. Hold on.
Okay. Right into the mic. Oh.
God bless me. Thank you. So
anyway, how are you doing?
I'm annoyed because I forgot my over-the-ear headphones.
Oh, and you don't like AirPods.
I hate AirPods with a passion, and they keep falling out of my freaking ear.
I wonder if you have weird-shaped ear canals, because you always say that AirPods hurt your ears.
Way to ear shame me. Like,
I
what
am.
Not even, maybe yours aren't shaped for AirPods. What if yours are weird?
You have weird shaped ear canals, don't you, little girl? Wow.
Get your ear canals together. Go get some surgery.
And it's 9 a.m.
Yeah, I'm going to go snowboarding immediately after this.
Nice. That'll be fun.
I'm going to go shred the pow pow.
Shred the pow? Did you like get some gnarly jumps yesterday?
I did. Emily, you got it right. I've never done a jump. And we found a baby park. Yes, it was all just like 10 and under doing these jumps, but I did them. And I did a box.
A box? Yes, I know what that is. Okay.
Did you know? No, wrong podcast. Okay. That's the end of this. Great.
Anyway, so you're in Mammoth. You're having fun.
Yeah, a grand old time. And I'm ready to rock and roll into this podcast so I can go play. Oh, I've already got my vlog posted today. Maybe because it's yesterday's vlog, but I did it.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
Wow. All right. We'll hop in, I suppose.
Give me the news.
Okay, so Candace Owens.
Don't give me the news.
Yeah, literal she-devil in human form. If you don't know who she is, she's an extreme right-wing conservative commentator who has her own podcast, and I want to say like her own, I don't know. We're just going to stick with podcast, where she basically uses her platform to spew the most disgusting, racist, sexist, homophobic crap you'll ever hear. So she's basically like the female version of Andrew Tate. So
gross.
And just to put it into a little more perspective, she has proudly said several times that racism doesn't exist. And mind you, she is a Black woman. That feminism will be the downfall of this country. She has and still does endorse Trump as president. And she has said several times in several different ways that women belong in the kitchen and are there to serve their husbands. So you get the idea. She is literal trash. I truly...
Why?
I was going to say, I truly, truly, truly believe, because she tried to be an actress, okay? She tried to make it in LA. She tried to make it in the Hollywood scene. She tried and failed epically. I truly believe...
Epically?
Oh, epically. I'm just going to like shame her for her failed acting career. I truly believe that she knew at one point in the beginning that this was the only way that she was going to make a name for herself, was to say to be a Black woman and to say that racism doesn't exist, and to be a Black woman and say that women belong in the kitchen and, you know, whatever. I think she knew if she was sensationalized that this was going to be the only way that she was going to be quote unquote successful. So I think
she wanted fame. She doesn't care who she's getting it from. Or
right. Right. So that doesn't make her like a better person. It makes her an even trashier person, that she doesn't actually believe this stuff, that she's just doing it for money and attention.
She's spreading it though.
But she's spreading it. But I truly believe it started off as, I'm going to do anything for fame and attention. And I'm going to say she gaslit herself into believing this stuff.
I'm sure she did. I'm sure she did, because she surrounds herself with people who believe that.
Yeah.
And so when you take on usually the mindset of the people you're around if you're not very strong in your mindset. And so if she's around those people and she's like, yeah, it makes sense. Sure. Yeah. And me believing this is getting me what I want, so why wouldn't I believe it?
Right. At some point, it's like, what's like reverse Stockholm syndrome, where you do this to yourself. And you're like, I need this to survive. That's what she's doing. But yeah, so
a trauma response. I don't know.
Yeah,
she gave herself the trauma.
She really did. It's the meme where the guy's riding the bike and sticks a branch in his front wheel, and he's like, oh, I can't believe I've done this to myself. Like, that's her.
Yes.
But yeah, okay, so everyone gets the idea. She's a trash person, podcast, internet person, whatever. Well, she decided to go after JoJo Siwa this week in her latest podcast.
Stop it.
And let's just say, go ahead and take a seat and strap in, because she decided to tell the world that she believes JoJo is not actually gay, but merely pretending to be a homosexual for attention.
Wow. Deflecting much?
You think?
Okay, one. JoJo was gay before. JoJo's gay. JoJo is the walking epitome of gay.
Inside sources can confirm.
Inside sources can. I mean, I've known her since she was 12. That girl be gay.
Oh yeah, no. Like as in like you're her best friend and you guys
Yes.
talk about your relationships 24/7.
Yes, and I've been around her while she's had girlfriends. I feel like I have to be careful with my words because she is so much younger than me that people are immediately going to be like, "See, she's a pedophile." I don't know.
Nope.
Anyway, no. JoJo is there are some people that you're like, you're dumb if you're not, and JoJo be gay.
Yeah, I love watching the clips on TikTok of people compiling moments from Dance Moms where she was clearly like
Checking out people's boobs.
Doing little gay things.
Yes.
Like
JoJo is one of the gayest of gays, as in, I mean that in the highest of compliments.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, that's what she decided to comment on in this episode. So to start off, I just want to say as a disclaimer, do not go listen to Candace's podcast or look up
never
the episode.
give these people any views or listens.
Yeah, because
don't give them any engagement.
Exactly. We're going to tell you everything you need to know. And what I'm actually going to do is play clips from this episode so that you can hear it straight from her mouth. You don't need to go watch it. Don't give her the clicks. Don't give her the money. Okay. So I'm going to try and play it through my phone so that you can hear it. And then I'll fix it in post for everyone listening. Okay. So this is an actual clip from her podcast. This is Candace Owens speaking. Okay. You ready?
I don't believe JoJo Siwa is a lesbian, by the way. I want to state that very clearly. I do believe that she's desperate for attention, and you're not going to believe what she's doing now. But first, let's back it up to just her announcement back in October of 2022 about how she realized she was a lesbian.
Okay, so I do have to skip over this clip where she plays JoJo's TikTok because there's copyright music in the background, and I don't want her video getting taken down.
That's fine.
But I will tell you what JoJo says, and then we can hop back into Candace's commentary. So basically the video of JoJo she pulls up is from TikTok, and JoJo's doing that trend that was popular a while back where you tell a story over the tune of Super Freaky Girl by Nicki Minaj. Yeah. The one thing about me you know.
Is da, 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 da. Yeah.
Yeah. And JoJo titles the TikTok My Gay Awakening Story, and Billboard Top 100 did a whole article on this TikTok and summarized it better than I ever could. So here's a quote from their article. They say, Siwa revealed that it all started when she was 12 years old, and Demi Lovato released their 2015 hit, Cool for the Summer. Siwa says, I really, really liked it and listened to it all the time. I didn't know what it meant back then, but now that I'm much older, I understand and I know what it means. They said that the former Nickelodeon star went on to remember seeing Jenna Dewan perform Lip Sync Battle, and JoJo says she did a really great Magic Mike number, which I also myself watched and rewatched at least 20 times. She said, I pretty much watched it every day. Little me didn't know she was gay until, and then Billboard Top 100 summarizes and says, Siwa then revealed that it took going on a date with a man to come to the realization about her sexuality.
Yeah, I was around for that.
Yeah.
She does not like men, trust me.
Who does? So they said, Siwa says, a couple of years later, a man was my first date and he wanted to have sex with me and I did not want to. Never wanted to, grossed out by the thought of it. Immediately knew men were not my thing.
She was texting me and Colleen and we were like, don't do it. She goes, ew, never. I wasn't even considering it.
Yes. She says, women are my gig, gotta go. So you get the idea. JoJo used this trend to talk a little bit about how, the signs were there and then eventually realized she was gay.
This sounds like a very normal gay awakening.
Right. And clearly those weren't the only things that helped her realize she was gay.
Yeah. I mean,
these are just little milestones where when you look back and reflect, you're like, oh, I'm gay. Because didn't she say, I was diving into a little bit last night, but didn't she do a whole interview? I'm going to say yes. She did a whole interview where she talked about how she actually realized she was gay when she got with her first girlfriend because they
was that interview on my podcast?
Potentially.
I'm careful of this because I don't know what she's told the internet versus what she's told me. I can't remember. I keep it straight. But yeah, when she finally got her first girlfriend is when she was like, everything clicks, which is normal.
Yes.
for most lesbians.
Yes.
Yes. So, and then she looks back and went, how did I not see all the signs? Which is normal for most lesbians. When you realize, when you're like, oh, because you explain everything away because society makes it so easy for being like, girls kissing is hot. That's just what it is. And like, oh yeah, you can have crushes on girls. It's like a little girl crush. It's not a big deal. Like, you just love your best friend so much. And then like you find these like weird attractions to girls, but you're like, oh, I just want to be their friend. I just want to be like them. And then once you realize you're gay, you go, oh no, I was just crushing on those people. Oh, I actually had a sexual attraction to that. And like, then it all makes sense, which is what happened to JoJo, which is what happened to everybody.
Yes. And but like, and I will say there's an Entertainment Tonight article where she did an interview with them, and she literally said like, I was hanging out with who I thought was my best friend for like a few weeks, and I was developing these feelings, and then, you know, once we like started dating, you know, so she made it very clear that
once it clicked for her, she's never gone back.
Right.
Like,
and even if she did and then found her way again, like,
no, I'm saying, but
whatever.
Like, it was like such a click for her that it wasn't even, she didn't have to question it anymore.
Yes. I feel like that's how it is for most of us. Once that shift happens, we're like, oh, and then it's never like
and valid if that's not it, because bisexualness is very much a thing.
Yeah.
But for her, she
gay.
She gay.
Yeah. So but like that doesn't make an entertaining story. When you're trying to do a trend on TikTok, it's not an entertaining story to be like, one time in Florida, I had this best, like, no, like people want to hear about
I had this best friend and we flirted all week and I didn't know if it was normal flirting or that I had a best friend because I'm 17 and I've never had a normal age best friend because I've had
yeah.
So best friends were like me and Colleen, and we were like, don't touch us.
Exactly. Don't even look at us, little girl.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. So like that doesn't make an entertaining story. So of course you're going to tell the like funny things that you'd reflect back on.
Yeah.
But because Candace Owens literally has half a brain cell, she decided, nope, this is literal and we need to see it as literal. So let me pull up her response to this now that we're past the
How does she read the Bible? Is the Bible literal or metaphor to her?
Oh, she reads it literally. Don't you worry. She reads it literally. Yep.
Okay, then.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so she pulls up this clip of TikTok, of JoJo's TikTok, and this is her response to it. It's going to be 1.5 minutes long, but it is, I won't even say worth the listen. It's just, you need to. Like, it is that.
Before we listen, let's check to see if we have a sponsor for today. Sponsor. ZocDoc is our sponsor for today. If your tummy hurts or you have a medical issue or you just have a headache, you might stumble down a TikTok rabbit hole of questionable advice from so-called experts. There are better ways to get the answers you want to your medical issues and the care you deserve from trusted professionals and not random people on the internet. ZocDoc helps you find expert doctors and medical professionals that specialize in the care you need and deliver the type of experience you want. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. No more doctor roulette or scouring the internet for questionable reviews. With ZocDoc, you have a trusted guide to connect you to your favorite doctor you haven't met yet. Millions of people are using ZocDoc's free app to find and book doctors in their neighborhood who are patient-reviewed and fits their needs and schedule just right. Go to ZocDoc.com/allthingsinternet and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/allthingsinternet. ZocDoc.com/allthingsinternet. All right, Em, give us a listen.
All right. Oh.
Okay, so let's just back that up. 3 things that made her realize she was lesbian. First, she says that she listened to Demi Lovato's Cool for the Summer song, but she had no idea what it meant. And now she does know what it means. Then she said that she watched Jenna Dewan dancing over and over again to Magic Mike on So You Think You Can Dance. And then she found out later that Jenna Dewan was lesbian. And then last but not least, she went on a date with a guy, and the guy wanted to have sex with her, and she was grossed out. And then she realized, oh, that's it. Obviously, I'm a lesbian. 1 + 1 + 1 must equal I'm a lesbo, or something. And that's, I guess, the idea here is that she suddenly realized she was a lesbian because she had a bad date and she liked the way Jenna Dewan danced to Magic Mike. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And it's very clear to me that she did that video for attention. She got attention because it's a great way to find a community of victims. And of course, there is no community that...
I'm just going to pause.
A community of victims? A victim of what? Good sex?
Apparently,
emotional validation? Good style? Hilarious sense of humor? Victims of what? Being drop dead gorgeous?
Apparently, we're only gay because we love playing the victim card, Rachel.
Wait, are gay people victims?
I mean,
I don't understand. Yeah, we're victims of the society around us, but
we're victims of people like her.
Are we saying that JoJo has gone through many a girlfriend, gotten lots of hate for it, and she's continues to do this just for attention?
Lost.
You know what would get her more attention? Would be go back and forth.
That would.
That would get her more attention.
You should text her.
I'd be like, JoJo, listen, Candace Owens is on to you.
Yeah, since you're doing all of this for attention, you know what would give you more attention?
Oh my God.
I mean, can't.
Also, she's not allowed to say lesbo. She's not allowed to say that.
No, who says
not a
that?
Chance. Who says lesbo?
Literally Susan, named 70-year-old Susan in her Florida retirement home.
Not a chance. Oh my God.
I hate that this sentence is coming out of my mouth, but Candace is right in the sense of we are victims. There are multiple laws, multiple people. There's so
but
much
not
working.
Victims in the way that she's saying it.
Yes. Just want to make that clear. We have so much in this country that is against us and adamantly hates us and threatens us every single day. But the way that she's implying it is that we're only gay because we love having the victim attention card.
No, literally not even a thing. No, I'm just so upset. And I also think it's hilarious because the amount that she thinks people are doing the same thing she's doing, which is...
Yes! Projecting!
She's projecting like crazy right now. I said deflecting earlier. I meant projecting. She is projecting like crazy onto JoJo.
Yeah, right. All right, you ready for the last 30 seconds of it?
No, but go.
Yep.
Louder, more roarous than the LGBTQIA never-ending alphabet soup community. Now they're behind her and she does their bidding all the time. And this has become a brand for her. She's a lesbian, guys. And she goes out and she defends other lesbians and other gay people. And nobody's ever questioned whether or not this girl is literally just doing all of this for attention. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she is a lesbian. Maybe it is true that if you see Jenna Dewan dancing, you might also become a lesbian. Or maybe it's also true that if you too go on a bad date, which all of us have gone on, you might be like, maybe I'm a lesbian. I've been on some bad dates. I might actually be a lesbian. Maybe all that's
Candace.
Is she realizing she's gay in this rant? Is she realizing?
She starts breaking down and she's like, oh, maybe
I am a lesbian. Okay.
All of a sudden, a pride parade just pops up behind her. It's her gay announcement.
This is the thing about us alphabet soup people, apparently.
Oh my God.
Is that when someone tells us their sexuality, we say dope because it's none of our business. Why in the world would we question if someone says, I'm gay? Why would we question it?
I have never understood why you care who we sleep with.
Don't, unless it is an unconsensual thing.
Yeah.
Why would anyone care?
Right. Who do you care who we get married to? Who do you care who we sleep with? That makes you gross. Why are you constantly thinking about who is in my bedroom?
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Why? She's like, and no one has questioned this. Yeah. Why in tarnations would we ever question if JoJo were gay or not? What's the point? What is the point of doing that? What is... Yeah. I don't understand why.
But why?
Why?
Yeah, so her stupid little rant goes on for another 3 minutes. And she says more disgusting stuff, like JoJo's pretending to be gay as a cry for help, that she just needs to find God that the reason she lashed out at Candace Cameron Bure, you remember that whole situation?
Yeah.
Where, what was it? Candace
Bure was saying she's going to do the Christian network that holds traditional values.
Yeah, where they wouldn't allow gay couples to be on there, and then her and JoJo went back and forth. She was saying the only reason that JoJo lashed out at Candace is because she actually is jealous of Candace and wants to be more like her, and that Candace is actually her role model, and she wishes that she could be like her, but she knows she can't. So basically, Candace is claiming this Candace, Candace Owens, the one that did this podcast, is claiming, in the rest of her 3 minutes, that the only reason that JoJo is gay is because she maybe originally thought it, but now because she's made it her entire brand, she can't get out of it because this is her entire brand.
The girl lost the bow, and that was the hardest thing she's ever done.
Well, I was going to say,
if she needed to lose the LGBTQ plus title, she could.
Well, and it's like, do you know how many business opportunities she missed out on because she came out?
She is no longer with Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Yeah.
There was just like a thing, but let's just look at the facts. She was with Nickelodeon. She came out and she's no longer with Nickelodeon.
Right. That is not even an insider thing. Just look it up on Google. She's no longer with Nickelodeon.
Look it up.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get special privileges when you come out as gay. Like, you lose so many opportunities when you do that, especially JoJo, who built her entire career on being the face of a child's brand.
Yeah.
So there's going to be multiple millions of people who no longer let their children watch you or worship you.
She gets stuff all the time saying, parents DMing her or commenting on her stuff being, I'm not going to let my child's never going to, I threw away all your bows. My children are never going to say her name again. And she's like,
right.
Okay.
And the amount of brands that allegedly don't work with her anymore or dropped her, like, it's just, there's so much that she sacrificed in order to come out and be her most authentic self. It's like literally the complete opposite of what Candace
Owens needs to get her facts, figures, and fundamental rights in order, because girl missed the mark on this one. She
really
know what she did? Candace Owens wanted attention.
You think?
And so she decided to go after someone who gets attention.
Yeah.
And it worked. We're talking about her.
I know. I kind of wish, so JoJo did respond. I kind of wish JoJo hadn't, because
What'd she say?
So, last thing she said, she basically implied that if JoJo continues, quote unquote, down this path of, being gay, that she was going to head into a very dark place, like implying that JoJo
in between
was
two pair of legs. What?
I'm sorry, your mic cut out.
I can't. Dark, warm, lovely place.
Yep. So yeah, JoJo ended up seeing, because Candace posted this clip to her own Twitter, and she didn't tag JoJo in it, but a lot of people did. So JoJo retweeted this clip from Candace Owens, which I'm like, ugh, because now she's like giving it more attention.
I would advise her not to, but JoJo has a very firm belief to stand up against bullies.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and I guess people would have gone and researched the clip anyway, even if she hadn't reposted it. But yeah, she said, I haven't watched the video yet, but if it has anything to do with your caption, respectfully back the F off. So she did her little clap back, because Candace's caption was, is JoJo Siwa lying about being a lesbian for attention?
I like how she's like, I'm not even going to watch this.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I'm too busy. I'm busy making hundreds of $1,000s a day.
Exactly.
Living.
I'm sorry I can't hear you over my buckets of money.
Sorry, I'm picking up a new talent as we speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh man, my back hurts. I'm old. I'm sitting on a floor. That's ruined me.
I thought you were going to make a joke about carrying the weight of this podcast.
Me? Never. Not since I hired you.
Fair enough.
Cute. All right. What else is on the news for today?
I didn't write this down, so this might not be as like cohesive as I want it to be, but it's just because like I read it this morning as I was getting ready, but it's like on topic. So
I wish that you would see how I used to prepare for my moms and my podcasts.
No, it would drive me
ATI
nuts.
Back in the day, I'd be like, I saw this headline about this thing. My mom would be like, oh, that's so crazy. I'm like, yeah, I wonder what happened. And she'd be like, me too. And then be like, okay, by the way, what's a chicken do? And then I got to do the whole podcast.
You know me, I'm so type A about this stuff.
I know. I'm the opposite. I don't know how we work well together.
Because we balance each other out.
That's true.
You're like,
all right,
relax, Emily. I'm like, no, it's not written in the notes.
Like, the video is perfect. And you're like, no, it needs 3 more sound effects at 5:38, 6:22, and 10:91. That's not even a timestamp. I made it up.
10:91.
Like, all right, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me the story that you haven't written down. I'm excited to see how kerfluffled your brain gets.
It's gonna be kerfluffled. So Mr. Beast has someone that appears in his videos often, and their name I still believe is Chris until they choose a new one, or maybe they're going to stick with that one. But Chris, recently someone tweeted a picture of them side by side from Chris 2 months ago and Chris now. And Chris used to be like what you would envision a stereotypical man to look like, you know, has the beard and the scruff and like the shaggy hair and dresses in quote unquote man clothes.
The clothes I wear?
Exactly. And Chris, the picture that they took from just like a week ago or a few days ago, Chris is dressed in like pretty like a tight long sleeve shirt and some tight jeans and has a clean face and has longer hair. And, you know, like clearly there's like a big visual difference there. And someone tweeted this at them and Mr. Beast and said, what the F happened? Like, what's going on here? And Chris actually, I want to say this is the first time they've come out and addressed this publicly, but they retweeted that tweet or like responded to it and said, 2 months on HRT, isn't it amazing how quickly this is happening? So if you don't know what HRT is, it's hormone replacement therapy. And so Chris, who used to go by he, him, is now going by they, them pronouns and is in the middle. I want to say like it hasn't been like outright talked about, but if you're taking HRT, I feel like it's safe to assume you're in the middle of transitioning. And with the clean face and the long hair and like, you know, I hate saying like stereotypical things, but like it is more feminine and, you know,
in our society right now, that is more feminine.
Yes. So this whole situation, like that whole tweet and that whole interaction completely blew up over on Twitter overnight. And there were so many people that tweeted back or like commented on Instagram or like commented on Mr. Beast's YouTube videos, so much disgusting freaking hate, saying that they were no longer going to because Mr. Beast, again, just like JoJo, his whole brand is all about like having kid-friendly videos. They're very much made for children if you watch his videos because they're these big challenges that are extreme, that like, you know, are meant to captivate. They're very fast-paced. He knows what gets views, and it's this like group of kids and teens. And so all these parents and all these children that have these disgusting parents that put this like nonsense in their head are commenting and saying that they're unsubscribing, unfollowing, they're never going to watch his videos again. He's no longer a family-friendly channel because he still has Chris on his team. It's
stupid. One, they aren't talking about it on the thing. They're not pushing their views on anybody.
Even if they are,
I'm saying, listen, relax, Em. I am clearly on your side. Silent Coyote, look at me. 1, 2, 3. I would say, but like, because they're like, those people, like, you're pushing your beliefs on us. No one's doing anything. Literally just living. And they have every right to use their platform to speak their beliefs. That's their platform. I don't like when a lot of people use it for certain reasons, but they are allowed to use their platform, but also they're not, though. They're literally just living. And that is how people should be. Just you live your life.
You shouldn't have to have a coming out announcement. You shouldn't have to announce anything. Like,
no, you shouldn't. And like, you just start living.
Unless
how I quote unquote came out was, I mean, I've obviously explained it further because when I first came out, I was like, I don't want it to be a thing.
Yeah.
And I literally was just like, I'm taking my girlfriend to Joshua Tree for Valentine's Day. And that was it. That's how I came out, was I was very normal, just like my girlfriend and I are doing this. And I later I was like, okay, I should talk about it a little bit more because I realized we're not in a place where it's easy for people to figure out things one here. I was like, okay, I should tell people my thought process, how I came to terms, and like be a little bit more an advocate because I realized that what's it?
It's like
representation matters.
I was about to say, it's
And,
almost like you had a duty with the amount of like platform you had and reach and the opportunity. Like,
yeah. And yes. And like people could see me truly becoming myself, finding my style, my happiness, and like all that stuff. So I was just like, all right, but the way I came out wasn't this grand, huge, look at me, which is fine if people do that. That's just not my vibe. And I understand people just being like, I just want to live, and I want to live as me and not be a big thing. And I think that's awesome. Coming out in giant ways, a giant way is also awesome too. Yeah. But I wish, like, they're literally not doing anything. They're just living.
Right. It's not like Mr. Beast made a whole video about like,
no.
Could you imagine if he made like a giant challenge video about like his friend coming out as like trans or non-binary, whatever they choose? But
they're just living.
They're just living. And like, I get if you want to make like, whatever way you want to do it. If I were to come out now, I'd probably make a huge deal about it. Well, I shouldn't have to, but I love the attention.
Candace Owens is going to come on to you. You're not gay.
Do it for attention. And so like whatever way you want to do it, fine. But it's just, it's really sad that one, it had to be addressed in that manner. And two, that Mr. Beast and Chris are getting so much hate for this entire situation. But Mr. Beast is being like really supportive.
Mr. Beast is literally just like not doing anything because it doesn't matter.
Right. Exactly.
Like that's he's just treating them as normal.
Yes.
And going through life as normal, which is exactly how you should.
Right. Exactly. And Chris is married and has a baby. And so there are all these people that are coming forward and commenting on their Instagram and their own YouTube channel and all this kind of stuff, basically saying like, what is your child going to do now your child's going to grow up fatherless and without a male figure, but good. Maybe they'll be a better person. Like,
also, that is degrading to all of like the single moms whose baby daddies have walked out, and like that's not the mom's fault at all. Right. Or women who were forced to have babies because they couldn't get an abortion.
Or women that just like wanted to have a child. Or women on just their have own.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of gay women who just have babies, and those babies are great.
Right.
Like you don't need a father figure. Right. And I've had this discussion with people before where they were like, well, you should have a I'm like, why? Yeah, what do you think you could do better than me? And then like, well, when it comes to, like puberty, and I'm like, well, one, I can read anything, and guys, we're not secretive of what was going on during puberty.
Right.
And I was like, it might be easier to explain, like a man explaining puberty, but doesn't mean I can't do it. Like if I have a son and he's going through puberty, I could handle it.
Right.
But if I wanted to, I could ask a guy friend to come explain it. Like,
right. If you're
he's not a father figure. He's just a dude that understands puberty.
Right. If you're of the mindset that a strapping young lad needs a man, a father figure in his life to become a good man, he's better off without you because they don't need that kind of toxic masculinity in their life. No. Like, absolutely not. So yeah, I feel so sorry for Chris and the fact that like there's just, I feel very privileged sometimes that it's very rare that I experience homophobia because I am a feminine lesbian, most of the time, when I put in effort. And so when I go out, it's very easy for people not to look at me and be like, oh, she's gay. Like I just look like, a straight.
Yeah, Allie could not figure out if you were gay or not.
It does hurt my feelings. I'm like, I want people.
No one's questioning it from me.
Yeah,
Candace Owens could never question my sexuality.
I want people to look at me and be like, oh, she's gay. But at the same time, I do realize it comes with a mass amount of privilege.
Just walk around with your short nails.
Right. Anyone?
Excuse me.
Anyone?
I'm ready.
So I often, as much as I read about it and like I hear about it and I see it, I often I feel like I put this barrier up, like I dissociate on how disgusting the world can actually be, even though I do read about all of these laws and these people getting hate crimes. It's so easy for me to separate myself from that because it's not like a self experience where I can empathize and sympathize and I stand up for those people. It's really hard to register on a personal level sometimes. And then I read stuff like this, and like I did read the comments that were sent to them, and I did see the tweets and all that kind of stuff, and it just like ended up having this like massive meltdown about it because you just forget how freaking hateful the world is until it's pushed right in your face. And it was so sad.
In your Instagram messages, there's the ones that were like restricted, the messages that sent to you. That's full of homophobic hate towards me.
Oh
Mine
God.
is just filled with that.
And you know what's funny? Like, I know
I don't even look at it.
Right. You're so obviously, like without question, like so much bigger than I am. So you're going to have a lot more people sliding into your DMs, and you're going to have a lot more attention than I do. But I have not gotten that. So does that just fall back into like, is it because I'm not super, but like I'm more feminine presenting than you are? So maybe it's like easier for people to accept, or like, it blows my mind of like why they choose to do that, because it's so easy. If they're going to send that message to you, why would you not copy and paste it to everyone in your life? That's also like gay, like why would you not send that to Corey? Why would you not send that to me? But it's just,
are you feeling a little left out that you don't get?
Where's my hate? My DMs are open.
Do you need me to call you some slurs in your DMs? Like you feel left out?
I feel like it would just add to my like personality and humor a little bit.
Because I'm gonna tell you, it ain't fun.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying it as in like I'm jealous, but it's just like it blows my mind who they choose to do this with, and I think it goes back to you are more queer presenting than I am.
Yes, I am,
and so it's just a lot easier for people to hate, I think.
Yeah. Because I'm the type of lesbian that whatever a man is supposed to be able to do, like whatever the man's purposes in the household, I can do all those things.
And you love doing that, like,
and I love doing them
in the best way, showing off that you're able to do these things. Meanwhile, I stand there, I'm like, I need a man, because I just don't want to do it.
I mean, yeah, like when we moved the oven and the fridge, we had men. Our neighbors were very kind and very helpful, and they came over and helped us. And you were like, "What would we have done without him?" I was like, "We would have gotten it done. It just would have taken longer."
That's
all it
gross.
is. That's how
Meanwhile, I'm like
mindset.
literally, I'm like waving down the neighbor. I'm like, help! We're just 3 women. Come help us.
I just gotta get a new dolly, some more rope, go work out a little bit.
I'm like standing there looking so pathetic with doe eyes. I'm like, please come help us. Again, just because I don't want to do it.
Yeah, but I think I'm a threat to masculinity in the most humble way I could say that.
Oh no, you should be proud to say that.
I am proud of it.
Yeah,
but and I think that's why I probably get more hate. Also, yes, I have a bigger platform, and also my girlfriend's smoking hot, as is yours. But mine's been around a little longer, and I think men don't like that I got such a attractive girlfriend, because that means they can't have her. Like you were gonna freaking get her, right. Joe Bob, playing on your Xbox all day.
Joe Bob,
relax. So yeah. Anyway,
well, I had another big news one, but we can just go through the shorts real quick if you want.
Just go through the shorts. I want to get to the
pouds.
I need to get to the pow.
Okay. Kylie Jenner is rumored to be dating Timothée Chalamet. So this really famous pop culture
that's unexpected twist.
It is a very weird combination. It's very Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson of them. It's very unexpected. But yeah, this famous pop culture Instagram account called Demoy just posted screenshots of a conversation, quote unquote, confirming is in quotes, that Timothée and Kylie allegedly have been together since January. And Demoy got famous for kind of always being on top of leaking rumors that more times than not end up being true. So people are like kind of banking on this being true. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Why do we care?
Yeah. Well, some people are like, a lot of people online, it's becoming trending because a lot of people online are just like making fun of them.
Like, don't do that.
Don't do that. But
Don't
also,
do that.
the tweets are
Tell me
funny.
what they said.
Yeah, one of the tweets
Don't
said,
do it. What'd they
"Don't do
say?
But don't do it, but we will laugh at it.
No, I never
No.
said I would. I just want to hear what they are.
Yeah, we're just
We're reporting.
Educating.
We're just reporting on the
reporting.
news.
Yep. So someone said the streets are saying Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner are dating. The Jenners are collecting men like I collect Pokemon cards. Someone said them
Listen, Pete Davidson stated a thing. He's like, I've only dated 12 people in the last 10 years, or 10 people in the last 12 years, which isn't a lot. When your relationships are public, like you go on 1, 2, 3 dates with someone, very well might not work out.
Right.
In the celebrity world, if you get paparazzi those 3 times, people are like, you're dating, you broke up, on to the next one, when that's a very normal thing in life. Right. How many people have you gone on a date with and then just been like, we spent 2 weeks getting to know each other and it just didn't work out? Celebrities have to go on ridiculous dates to get to know each other because they can't just go to Starbucks down the street and have a little chit chat. So I will say, I'm gonna start standing up for when the celebrities are like, oh, they go through all these people like crazy, and I'm like, yeah, it's just that their 1 or 2 dates is getting paparazzi'd, and so it seems like a bigger deal than it is. That people date. I don't, but people go through people. It's just because they have other people that are less than me. No, people date. That's what they do. And
also, she hasn't been dating around.
No, and there's 5 sisters. They're gonna have. Kim Kardashian was married for a really long time. She's only had 2 guys in the last 10 years. They're not going through it. They really aren't.
It just looks like it because there's so many of them.
There's so many of them, and they go on they have 1 boyfriend a year, and that looks like a lot,
right?
And it's not. So I'm just gonna start because Pete Davidson posted that, and I kind of looked into it, and I was like, oh, he's right. He's had a very normal dating life. It's just people are fascinated because he doesn't look like the guy that would get a lot of girls, and he's gotten very attractive women.
Yeah.
And so people are fascinated by it, but he hasn't actually had that many.
Right.
He's had a very normal dating life in the world of dating, and I'm just going to state that, but please keep saying all these things.
Yeah, someone said Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet dating feels the same as when 2 people from your high school that never interacted started dating 6 years after graduation. That one, fair enough.
Yeah.
And lastly, someone said Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet and Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny, because they are rumored to be dating too. I know PR couples when I see them. The Kardashians have their new season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians coming soon. Kylie just launched new products for her brand. They need people talking. I could also see that being true.
Yeah, I could also see that being true. That's
fine.
Also, you got to give it up for that family. They do not have a type.
Oh, I was literally just thinking that. How do you go from Travis Scott to Timothy Chalamet? I mean, they're both very tiny.
Suave.
Yeah. Tiny. I feel like that's a little degrading. Not tiny. They're I don't know, small men. So
they're not bulk. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not football star.
They're
bodies.
very. Yeah. So maybe that's her. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. They really don't have a type. They just bounce around. All right. But in a normal amount.
In a normal amount. That means they probably go for personality.
Yeah, which is what you're supposed to do.
No.
All right. Speaking of couples, I mean, we can't relate because our girlfriends are so hot, but their personalities are also wonderful. Speaking of couples, although the engagement ring is still nowhere to be found, it looks like Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly are back together. They were just spotted in Hawaii, holding hands on the beach, being romantic. And Megan's Instagram has officially been wiped clean, so there's no post, and it seems like she's starting over fresh. So cool.
All right.
Another couple that the internet can't stop talking about right now is Millie Bobby Brown and Jake Bon Jovi, who recently just got engaged. So Jake is 20, Millie is 19, and she just recently posted a photo to Instagram showing off her new engagement ring, and she captioned the photo, "I loved you 3 summers now, honey, I want them all." Also, side note, something I did not put together until I was reading my 3rd article about this, trying to see if I could get any more information out of this. Jake is John Bon Jovi's son. How did I not put together that Jake Bon Jovi is John Bon Jovi's son? I thought Bon Jovi was his last name. Anyway, fun fact of the day.
I had nothing to say to that. Sorry.
This blew my mind. They're already receiving a ton of backlash after posting their announcements because most of the hate is centered around the fact that she's only 19 years old and she just turned 19 in
weren't these
February.
the same people that were probably like over sexualizing her when she was 14?
Yeah.
But now she's too young.
Well, people were concerned how over sexualized she was being when she was 14,
but then but at the same time, people were over sexualizing her.
What I read was that people were scared Drake was grooming her.
I remember people being like, grow up. And then people were like, don't grow up. And now people were like, okay, she's 18. It's all fine.
Right.
No, you're not old enough. You're not.
Isn't that always how it goes?
Yep. Can't have it both ways, apparently.
Yeah. So, because she just turned 19 in February. So someone said, she's 19. You do you, sis, but I was a mess at 19. Getting married would have been at the bottom of my list at this point. And another person said, this is cute, but she's 19. She hasn't even had 3 summers as an adult.
I personally think 19 is a little young to get married. We're still growing as people. Our brains are still developing. But it might work out. Cool. If it works out, that's awesome that they got married so young. And if it doesn't, girl, I just gotta say, get a prenup. That's it.
I mean, she definitely has more money than him because of Stranger Things.
I don't care because you never know what's gonna happen. Get a prenup.
Yeah.
Because it makes it less messy if you do get divorced. So do what you want. It's all consenting, but I would just say I wouldn't advise someone that young getting married.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I have seen it work out. My cousin and her husband, they've been dating since they were 15 and 16, and they've been together 11 years.
My brother and his wife Jessica have been together since they were 16, and they're both 40 now.
So it does work out.
It can work out. But it also cannot. I mean, 50% of marriages don't work out, so.
God, who gets divorced these days? That's embarrassing.
Not you yet.
I'm signing the paperwork.
You're still married with a side chick, girl.
What? A mistress that my non-ex-wife knows about and is very supportive of and loves? What?
I'm getting knocked at the door. I have to leave.
Okay. That was
All
really
right.
it.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Please follow and like our stuff, and we'll see you next time with another All Things Internet. Bye. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of All Things Internet. Please make sure to like and follow our podcast on whichever platform you're currently listening to it on. And make sure to follow us at Podcast ATI on Twitter, where you can ask questions and get the latest updates on our show. We love you. Thanks for listening. I'm Rachel Ballinger, and this has been All Things Internet.